Hi guys, and welcome to the JKT Radio Podcast episode 69, where this is all Barnibus all the time. And I would like to start this episode out with a warning. I had to shorten this warning, but be prepared. If you have any problems, or these are considered triggers in any way for you, that include, and are not limited to, by the way, religion, cults, Norse gods, D&D, demons, sex of any kind, including bestiality and rape, mental abuse of children and adults, fucking with the fae, the inability to tell reality from a game or joke. This episode is not for you. We do thank you for coming to listen, but your health and well-being is more important to us than probably your knowledge of a horrible cryptid man that I created. So, skip this episode, go back and watch some of the funnier episodes. I think number 4 is pretty funny, if I remember correctly. And probably, like, episode 52. Let's pick a random number. Don't know what that episode was off the time. Usually something happens.
Episode 17 was pretty good, I seem to remember. 17. I think 66 was the Easter special. That's just stupid funny. Yep. Go back, watch some of those. Yeah, episode 17 was pretty polarizing, I seem to remember.
Any of those episodes, if any of those things previously triggered you.
Oh boy.
Hello, I've gained a cat. Welcome.
I'm a little more concerned now.
I told you. And without further ado, welcome to episode 69. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Kyra, who is currently Barnibus.
Did you really?
And I'm joined by my other D&D characters who have not ever had to physically play with Barnibus besides the silly NPC. We have Chris as Rue.
The high elf wizard.
Yep. And Devin as I forgot how to say this. Reverend.
Yeah, he was a ASMR sorcerer.
And McBride as Sif.
The slutty wood elf warlock.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
So many orgies all the time.
Yep.
But nothing compared to Barnibus, I assume. You gonna survive this, Kyra?
We'll find out. We'll find out. Giving away all of my secrets is heart-wrenching.
Oh no.
I have sat with Barnibus in my corner for so long, and like, he's here. He's always here. I don't have a choice. He belongs here now.
Barnibus just is. He transcends D&D.
And to start, yeah, he does. And to be even more point, Barnibus was a joke that was supposed to die in 5 minutes.
Oh.
We are not that was Barnibus. He was a bad joke.
That campaign ended.
That campaign actually it was one of those campaigns where everything, like, just the schedule fell apart. People went back to school. And you guys have to listen to yelling in the background because people don't know how to not to yell about fucking gas. Perfect way to start, Barnibus. So, the way Barnibus started is I was running a campaign, and it had problems with scheduling, so I went to a friend's house, and they were both my players. So he's like, oh, I'll run a mini campaign with the two of you, and you each play 2 players, so we were like, alright. And I made 2 characters. 2 characters. One was Barnibus. Barnibus was the joke that was supposed to die. And then I had the main character, who was Gwyneth, a lawful evil dwarf, and we will say not very much more about her, because she did die.
I don't even remember hearing about that one.
Yeah, I had my only lawful evil character. She was played side by side with Barnibus for a very long time, until she died later on in the campaign. Because the campaign actually grew. It overtook my campaign just because the people playing there could no longer make it.
Yeah.
But we kept going with this mini campaign, and more people got added to it that I didn't know. They were friends of theirs, the DMs.
I'm nodding, but you can't see it.
Yes. Okay. So, the way Barnibus was made I said he was a joke. And it was a funny ha-ha joke. So I'm like, pick 2 characters or classes that you want to play, and I'll balance it. Because it was only supposed to be a one-shot. So they picked 2 fighters, so I picked a ranger, which was Gwyneth, and a healy bitch cleric. But I wanted to have fun. So I went with trickery, and I went with Loki, because I thought it was funny as shit. Introduce the campaign, characters walk in, they all get doors knocked in, and I decided to keep going with the ha-ha funny man, and he's praying to his god by having a wank, and he opens the door naked.
Yikes.
Yep,
that seems on par.
And keep in mind, Barnibus is a tiefling, right?
Yes, I forgot about this. Barnibus is a lavender tiefling. We have fan art of him somewhere. I don't know if it's the thumbnail or the video now.
It'll be the thumbnail, but I'll throw it up as well.
Yeah. Lavender tiefling. His horns are a halo horn, so they come out of his forehead, go around his head, and almost meet in the center at the back of his head, but don't quite. Black hair, silver eyes. Man of God. I need to iterate this point very much. Man of God. Supposedly I'm too loud.
A god.
But you know what?
Very, very loyal to his god.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Loyal enough to be a cleric. Yeah, that was pretty much how Barnabas started. But to go into the backstory that was created for Barnabas later, which was essentially my bus ride home, because we were going to play probably again, so I created backstories for both the characters. And they actually intertwined, because they had to somehow know each other.
Makes sense.
So Barnabas was about 38, which is very old for any D&D character that has a lifespan under 100.
Yeah, any non-elf dwarf type character that's under.
Yeah, and any character with a lifespan under 100, 38, like not number that is just after teenage year, is very old for the most part.
Stable adults don't adventure.
Yeah.
They know better by then.
So his backstory was, Barnabas is not his real name. The man, the myth, the legend. That's not his name.
Oh.
Well, it is not Barnibus. It is not Barni. It's an I, by the way. Bus.
Well,
it's not Barnabas. Yes, he is a charlatan. He came with a secret identity, so I made the identity that he started out as his secret one. His fake identity.
Neat.
His real identity, and the DM approved all this, so before anyone backlashes, he was a child painter. So, like, as a child, he became a famous painter. But, because he was a tiefling, tieflings are normally born of non-tiefling parents. He had 2 human parents who weren't very fond of him. He wasn't really allowed out of the house much, and they wouldn't claim him if they found him in public when he was out. So the father sold all the paintings under his name. Yeah. And his name, the child's name, I don't remember anyone's last name because it turns out I never wrote those down. So Barnabas had never had a last name. Barnabas himself never had a name. His name was Barnabas. His real name is Kovu, and you can punch me now for the references.
Wow.
Yes,
Are you?
We'll run away and start a pride hall of our own, I see.
Indeed.
You're not one of us. You will never be one of us. Yeah. Punch me now. So, I thought it was a funny joke. That only me and
that only you knew.
Only me and the DM knew. Yeah, so as he grew up, he did play in the some of the temples, one of them being a temple to Loki, which is how he ended up being a cleric. But a first other tiefling he ever met had come to his house to buy the painting he painted specifically for his mother, which was very symbolic. And I got yelled at again. If I remember correctly, it was 2 griffins with a dragon egg to symbolize that he didn't belong.
Oh.
Yes, and it was one he made for his painting, or his mother. It stayed in the house. The tiefling came to try and buy it, so he had run out the window or something to go play in the temple.
It's kind of cute and sad.
Yep, it gets worse.
Oh no.
So he was in the temple with the priests there, and then the guardsman came because his entire home had burned down, his parents dead.
Oh,
Painting
no.
and the tiefling missing. He was blamed for the fires. Obviously, it didn't work. Fuck off. Didn't work because obviously the priests could vouch that he had been here the whole time, as he usually is.
Yeah.
So he was taken in by the church. He became a priest. But he made it his goal in life to find this man and take the painting back.
Yeah, that's valid.
So, yeah. That had already happened. Like, this is all stuff that never happened in the campaign, obviously. He met Gwyneth. Gwyneth helped him track down the man. In return, he would help her fulfill her life objective quest. He got the painting, which now sits in his hometown in that temple. But to do it, he had to do some questionable deeds, which is where the name Barnibus came, because what other way to get horrible tricks and tales and blackmail from people than sleeping with them?
Ew.
Kovu couldn't do it, but Barnibus could.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Welcome to my land.
Did anybody call him Barney as a nickname?
Oh god, I hope not.
I don't think any the DM or any of the players ever tried that.
I feel like Barney is just a cursed name.
Barney the whore demon.
Barney the purple tiefling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Purple dinosaur.
Yeah, instead of the purple dinosaur. Yeah, so that's all the stuff that happened before the campaign, the backstory. So his life goal, his life mission, was already done by the time the campaign started. And his main goal now was money, living, and helping Gwyneth, because it's a life debt now.
Yeah.
Which is similar, her quest was similar to his. She was hunting a dragon that burned her clan down. Come see, come saw. Close enough.
Similar.
Eye for an eye. Except, one's a man, one's a dragon.
Vengeance is vengeance.
Yeah. So, back to where the campaign is. We did the wank.
Wow.
We did that. First thing we do is we wander around town. We get the big main quest, which involves us getting to the Feywilds. Right. And we're in a town that moves only by money. Something Barnibus can't do. Because he can't just gain blackmail from sleeping with people. He has to have money, which is not something we have at level 2.
Yeah, no.
No.
Or level 10.
I have money at level 5. Always.
Fair.
By level 5, I have at least 1,000 gold guaranteed. At least.
See, I can't save, not even in D&D.
All of my characters are never buy anything, or I spend money to get more stuff, and it's ridiculous. Tip your NPCs, folks. It works just as good as tipping your waitresses and waiters.
Yeah.
And don't treat them like utter shit. In game or in real life, it works. Yeah, so I had tried to persuade a bar wench to sleep with Barnibus. And I think I rolled really low to begin with.
You got a nat 1 or something like that?
I don't think I got a nat 1. The nat 1's later. The nat 1's for in a minute.
Yeah.
But it's also a town that only moves by money, so they said I wouldn't be able to do that check anyway with the level 2 modifiers we had. Even though I was proficient in, deception, persuasion, and all of the charisma skills, pretty much.
Yeah.
As a cleric.
Yeah.
So I went out and I tried to find a brothel. And I rolled, a nat 1. And I found a stable.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, fuck it, literally, because, Loki did the horse.
Created
and had a... Yep, and so I'm like, well, clerical Loki, it makes sense.
Yeah, because didn't Loki turn himself into a female horse and give birth to Sleipnir?
And gave birth to it. He was a woman, a mare for that.
Loki is a gender fluid icon.
He is. He's even in the ancient myths, he switches genders constantly.
Yeah.
And even in some of the Marvel comics themselves, he's a woman.
There is in the Marvel comics, there is a lady version of Loki called Lady Loki.
It's just let Loki be Loki.
And
Loki is not man or woman. They are Loki.
Yeah. She exists beyond space, time, and gender.
Yep. So, that horse, that one horse, I never tried to do another horse. I never rolled for it. Oh. It became a thing. Oh. It was just guaranteed that was now a thing that happened. Didn't have to do anything else on that. That's where the horse jokes came from, folks. Session 1. I think about 20 minutes into the game. Made some bad rolls. Made one bad joke. Horse fucker for life.
Devin, you know what that's like.
Yep.
Horse fucker for life.
God, it's just like me with my gnome character all over again.
You make one bad comment and suddenly you're a corpse fucker.
Yeah, I make one bad comment about wanting an undead army and suddenly I fuck corpses.
Yep. Sadly, mine gets worse.
Oh, I bet.
It gets worse?
It gets worse. We're at point A and we've still got to get to point Z.
Oh boy. This will be fun.
So campaign goes on. We figure out 2 different ways to get into the Feywilds. By the way, I'm still running with my joke Barnibus and my main character over here, who is, again, an OP ranger. I did a ranger properly.
Fun. Gloomstalker?
That must be nice.
Yeah. Chaotic good. Yes, by the way, people, Barnibus is a chaotic good alignment.
Well, nobody ever said he wasn't... Who said he was hurting anybody?
Many people have said this is not chaotic good.
Ah, well.
I live in the land of... I live outside the alignment chart. Every character I've made, I've been banished from the chart.
I mean, Pippi stopped being... Like, Pippi is a pirate who is technically chaotic good.
Technically, according to the DM, though, I am chaotic lawful. I am banished from the chart.
No, you were chaotic.
No, I'm chaotic lawful now.
Oh.
Because I have a code, but nobody knows what the fuck it is.
Fair.
Barnibus was banished to the chart of chaotic stupid.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Alright. So, time goes on. We found 2 ways. So we were on our way to the first one to get into the Feywilds, which is rumors of a cubic gate. The cubic gate, for people who don't know, is a little 6-sided cube. Essentially, usually people use the D6 to figure out which side you get.
That makes sense.
But this one was a little special. Each side goes to a different dimension.
Oh.
This one was rumored to have as one of the dimensions the Feywilds. So we were going to go get it. On our way, we pick up some characters. We pick up other players, essentially, who joined as time went by. The 3 main ones are obviously the person who started with me, who again had 2 characters, but their character is actually 1 left to make it easier on them because one of mine died.
Fair.
And a
just
bard,
Kitty, right?
who was, huh?
That was just Kitty at that point, right?
Yeah, that was Kitty, and they had another one. I don't remember what their name was, but they were a drunken master monk. And we picked up a bugbear rogue who had an intelligence of 4, but every other stat was like 18. So he thought he was a big hairy dwarf. That was chompy. We picked up a bard. The bard was less of a bard than the cleric, so they were always a little bit salty, and they're still to this day.
Chompy.
Yeah, Chompy's the greatest. The man who played the bard still hates Barnibus to this day, and told me so this morning. As he does almost every time I talk to him. How much he hates Barnibus.
Oh, God,
still. Yeah. It has been years since we've got to play that campaign. Still hates Barnibus. But we picked up our characters. We went through a town. We weren't allowed, half of us weren't allowed in the town because they were extremely racist. So my 2 characters got stuck outside. 2 of the humans, though, because our bard was human and our monk was human, got to go in the town. They were supposed to purchase a cart and horses.
Oh, no.
We went around the town to wait on the other side. Oh, wait, no, that's wrong. We got to the town. We killed the 2 men that were on a cart and a horse, calling us racist names. We took their cart and horses and waited on the other side while the 2 humans went and bought supplies. That's what it was. Killed some men. Got attacked by giant eagles. Chompy hugged one to death. Just wanted a hug. So that's how Barnibus gained 2 horses that supposedly he impregnated one.
Oh.
I never made another horse fuck joke. I never said I was going to fuck these horses. It was just, we all knew that's what was happening.
So basically, these decisions were made for you?
Yeah, I laughed when they made the joke, but these were just, that's happening. That's a thing now.
It's just a thing.
That's a thing.
It's, like
it's also a thing. I was sleeping with Kitty. Like, that was an actual thing.
Just like, isn't it a thing that if you roll 69 on 100% die, that Barnibus just shows up?
Wait, so, like,
yeah, that was a
these
rule.
weren't even your character decisions? These were just, like, things
well, the
decided?
first one was.
Well, I mean...
The first one was.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, as I said, you make one bad horse fuck joke. I made one more horse fuck joke later on in the game, and I was so upset I didn't get to do it, because at that point I had accepted I was the horse fucker and I lived there.
Are you having flashbacks with Nomeo?
I am. I really am.
Yeah, so we get to the place where this cubic gate is. And, as I said, I still have both characters. I still have my overpowered ranger and the idiot, who, by the way, has still yet to heal a single person. He has never healed a single person. Yet.
Oh, damn it.
The ranger has.
Wow.
We find out it's a Sphinx layer, and we have to go through the trials of the Sphinx to get the cubic gate, which we turn out is you get to the end of the trials, and it's actually, you get to pick a prize. You get to pick a magic item, but one of us should take the cubic gate. And the trials are separated into 2, and then 2 again. It's essentially strength and dex on one side, wisdom and intelligence on the other.
That's fair.
Hey, you're smart. So, all of my characters go to wisdom and intelligence, because that's the best stats they have. They go over there. I take the bard with me. Every other character goes to the other side. So that's a monk, a fighter, and a rogue. They go to the other side.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's essentially, you're divided into, I think it was wisdom and intelligence were separated, and then the second trial they were together.
Okay.
Ours was a chess game against a Sphinx.
Oh.
Which was essentially a series of wisdom rolls. We used every single bardic inspiration the bard had. Every single one. We got as many as possible out. He's like, okay, we're out. And then we hoped Barnibus could roll high enough.
Which, it's you, so that's a yes.
Yes. At that point, I only had like a +3 modifier to my wisdom, so it wasn't maxed yet.
But it's you, so.
It was still me. The ranger was actually the highest stat they had was intelligence. So they went and did that, and it took me a moment because it actually required my physical brain. And it was a timed one, and I had less time because it was water rising. I'm like, I'm a dwarf, I'm even shorter. I have less time than all of you. So I figured out we get there, and then the next one is a maze, which we fly through. We're very perceptive as fuck, and there was like a clue on the ground or something, and we just got through the maze. It was fine. The other side had some trouble until Chompy realized that they have 10 feet reach, and they can just literally grab the next post and just climb across, and he carried everybody over, and it was fine. They had no problems.
I like that.
Chompy was broken upon broken. So we get to end, we all get to pick a prize. We all get to pick a magic item. So
I've heard about this.
Yeah, everyone, I pick, I can't remember what the bow is called for the dwarf.
Oath bow?
Yeah, the oath bow. And it was a little bit modified, so I could just say the oath, and it was instead of a sworn enemy, I could just say it, and it would shoot the overpoweredness.
Neat.
So this dwarf can now almost kill a flesh golem in one turn by themselves. That was tested and done.
Side note, flesh golem is the worst series of words to be added together ever.
Yep, but they do exist.
They do exist.
They're awful.
And everyone else picked their magic item, and I was just kind of sitting there going... Because originally I was thinking what Barnibus wanted. I'm like, what stupid item can I give this man? Because I was still playing him as a joke. He is still yet to heal anyone.
He will never heal anyone.
Still, this is a joke. He's now here for the funny, I fuck everything. And I kind of realized, like, I had not picked yet, and I was the only one to not pick yet, and nobody had taken the cubic gate.
Right.
So Barnibus, the joke character, the DM had tried to kill multiple times because he hated him as well. But he was a love-hate relationship. The bard wanted dead. Has the most important item in the game. So I can't be killed.
Well, yeah, I guess if there's one that goes to, like, the underworld or something like that.
We had all the sides. I think they got modified a little. It was the material plane, the Feywilds,
Probably Shadowfell.
Olympus. I don't remember if Shadowfell was on there.
Usually Shadowfell goes along with it, since Feyweld and Shadowfell are, like, usually the opposites.
There was a story reason, I think, that I didn't have Shadowfell. There was another one, Ravnica, I think it was called, because that book got added in.
Yes, yeah.
And those are the ones I remember. I think the other two we didn't know, or I just never bothered to write those two down because they're not written down. Or I couldn't learn where they went. Main part is, we got the Feywilds. We needed the Feywilds. So we were thinking, like, should we use this now? Should we wait? So we went traveling around in our little wagon. We got some more players. We lost a few players. And in our travels, we were on our wagon. We were just kind of wandering around. We get to a town, the mining town. Essentially, the other way we could have came to get to this Sphinx lair was a different road. We went through that road. They were much more accepting of the other races.
That's good.
And they were having a problem with their children disappearing. So we went to investigate. Barnibus was actually really down to help the children. Also, there was a hot guy whose son went missing. So, more incentive. We were trying to sleep. Me and Kitty were both trying to sleep with him. And get there, find out it's a beholder that was stealing children.
Fun.
And that's where the flesh golem comes in.
Oh dear.
That's why we know the ranger can one-shot a flesh golem in one turn, pretty much, because she almost did.
Oh boy.
She did like 80 damage in one turn. Stupid. And then Barnibus did the only cleric thing he's ever done, which is because all the children were what made up the flesh golem.
Oh.
It was the children.
Wait. The flesh golem was the children?
Yeah.
The flesh golem is a golem made of flesh.
That's where the flesh came from.
Yeah. And one of the bodies was actually the little boy we were hoping to find alive because we wanted to fuck his dad.
Well, so much for that.
I mean, resurrection's a thing.
Oh god.
No, he was already cut to pieces and like part of a body.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So you wouldn't be able to resurrect that even if you tried.
There's an Inuyasha episode like that.
Yeah.
So he did the most cleric thing he could possibly do. He used Sacred Flame on them and sent them all away with a prayer. Still has yet to heal anyone. But he did send them off to... I can't even remember where I sent him. But they got to leave in peace to go to heaven or hell or wherever. I can't remember where I send them. I couldn't remember where the heaven equivalent of Norse gods are right now.
Valhalla.
That's the one.
So the Valhalla for the warriors, and then there's another one for those who die.
Yeah.
There's Valhalla and there's Helheim.
No, there's a second. There's also a third
There's
one.
3.
Yeah.
That's like for. Yeah, like there's a third one.
Yeah, I had, like, at this point in time, I had, like, all this knowledge written down so I could easily pull on it. Where it is now, I don't know. So, we find what we now know is a beholder. This is where my ranger dies. Because it's a beholder.
And you're a ranger.
No, it's, I got Kit with...
The death ray?
Yeah.
Also, it's
Insta-death.
Folkvanger.
Ah,
there we go.
Sorry, I had
Instant death ray. Dramatic. Instant death ray. Ranger's dead. I was torn because also all my items on that ranger were dead and she had so much money.
Oh.
The bow was gone, so we couldn't even reuse that. The fabled whip, which was her main weapon besides that bow, gone. Yeah, so the person who healed the party is now dead.
Oh.
Barnibus actually has to heal people now.
Still.
Beat the beholder. Barnibus actually apologizes to the man. He has a heartfelt moment of being a decent human being.
But he's not human.
Yeah, a decent humanoid being. And that's where a lot of people realize, like, Barnibus isn't a total asshole. He has feelings. He has regards for children. I'm like, have you ever tried to see me make any move on a child? And I pointed that out, and they were all confused because they hadn't.
I mean, that should be a
I would
baseline.
hope not.
Yeah.
Should be,
But
isn't.
He should be, isn't. Not. Hi, Kit Kat. Those are my chicken nuggies. Sorry, tangent. The cat's trying to get what's left of my chicken nuggies. Alright, after that, we go on a little bit more traveling. And this is where I become a sex god.
Not the horse originally.
So we get... Well, I fucked the horses. We were in our wagon, which is now literally labeled Barnabas's wagon. That's just a thing now. I drive the horses in many ways.
Oh.
Hey.
I had accepted the joke at this point. It's done. It's mine. I might be telling these parts out of order because this is where, like, I'm blurred.
Didn't you have a cult at one point?
No, I am the cult.
Well,
That's my cult. That's
like,
the
orcs
MF
or
Bun
something,
cult.
right?
That's what I'm getting to.
Ah.
Yes. So, we're traveling, and we get almost attacked by a band of orcs. And it's a common thing that Barnibus does not like fighting. Barnibus will use every single goddamn possible way to get out of fighting. At this point, my charisma is 20. I have proficiency in almost every single charisma spell except intimidation.
That's fair.
You cannot beat me. I am this game. So, I try to pull an intimidation, though, and a persuasion by saying, don't attack us, blah, 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 blah. I can't remember exactly what I did, but they paused, but they weren't scared. But we had a gnome paladin. Like, I think an ancient...
Oath of the Agents?
Oath of the Agents. And it was an ongoing joke that he took mushrooms. He took plant drugs. And to heal himself, he would touch himself, but he would physically touch himself because it was funny.
That's about right.
Like, do you mean just like putting your hand on your head,
like
or the
off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you jerk off. So when I said this, he went to go touch himself. He said he would touch himself to heal himself of the drugs,
Battle
and that
tapping.
that gave me advantage.
I'm sure it did.
Of course it did.
It gave me advantage on my roll because it was funny, and I won the charisma check. So they tried to follow us and all that, and I was like, you're not worthy of my followers until you go off into the woods and fuck the biggest thing possible.
Oh dear.
Right, this is what
Off they went.
From.
Off the orcs went. One came back eventually with a boar, that was still humping him, supposedly. And we were on our way to a giant tree. We were all really excited about the giant penis tree, because that's what we had started calling it.
Of course.
Just a really big tree. And we were almost there what the time is. And it was like, okay, you have one last test. Go run to the tree and jump off of it. I was just having fun at this one. Barnibus was having a day. So he starts running towards the tree and gets evaporated.
What?
Turns out the Fae just evaporated. The Fae were at that tree. The Fae was like a portal there, which we didn't know about. We were just there because we wanted to see the giant peen tree.
Yeah, that sounds like a Fae thing to do.
And they thought the orc was coming to attack them. And he got evaporated. And I kind of scolded the Fae, and I was like, I wanted to see him fall. It would have been funny. You know.
Valid.
Bad idea to scold the Fae.
No, yeah.
Less valid.
Less valid. It gets worse with the Fae. The Fae.
I mean,
we'll get to the Fae.
You were saying he didn't fuck them, or maybe he did.
He wanted to. He did find like 4 orgies. But we'll get to that. So, yeah, that's where he has a cult of orcs. Somewhere in the woods, if they haven't been killed, but whatever, they tried to fuck in the woods. There are a bunch of orcs that now follow Barnibus.
In the woods.
Oops. At some point, I can't remember if this is before or after the orcs and the tree part, we went back to our main town, the town of money. And there's a big university there, which is the only area that doesn't follow the laws of money. We went to the library to learn of the cubic gate. Also, I went to learn Sylvan.
Yeah.
It was a smart idea.
I mean, yeah.
It was a very smart idea. We're going to the Feywilds to find a man that was kidnapped by the Fey. That was like the whole point and the goal. So learning Sylvan is a good idea.
I'm surprised nobody knew it before.
We did. She died.
Oh, right.
The ranger.
Right.
The ranger was built for the campaign. Barnibus was a joke that was supposed to die.
Whoops. Role reversal.
Yeah. So we go around the library. I learned Sylvan. Another character learned Sylvan. I learned where all the cubic gate things go. I didn't write them down. I only wrote down 4. But I learned that in like 3 days because I rolled stupid on my intelligence and wisdom rolls. So I was just kind of wandering around. We also did some shopping. And what would Barnibus be without more stupid items?
Infinite Witch.
I wish we got the Infinite Witch. No, one character got the Deck of Many Things, which you understand how much I want to give that to Barnibus.
Mm-mm.
I wasn't allowed to have it.
That's good.
I'm never, ever allowed to have it whenever it's in the campaign. Nobody ever lets me have the Deck of Many Things. I want that deck. One day I will get that deck.
You want
So deck. I got some I want that deck. I almost got that deck twice. So I went shopping and I bought 2 stupid items because, I already have this cubic gate that can teleport me across dimensions. What else should we get? Oh, how about this flask of endless water? Why not? Why shouldn't I have this?
Why not?
This is funny. Actually, it had a purpose because now I have infinite water in the Feywilds where I can't eat or drink anything. At least I now have water. Method to my madness. Also, it was funny because I was going to turn it upside down and try to flood the Fey court, but they said no. I was told I couldn't do that. The other one was another stupid item because I don't fight. And when I do fight, I use my spells on the cleric. I stand in the back and go, hi! And I yell insults like a bard, but mine don't do damage. They just piss people off.
You're a bard that can wear thicker armor.
You're
essentially exactly what
bard.
I am. I'm just a thick boy.
Oh boy.
I'm the hottest dilf that ever dilfed.
You're a dilf king of Dilfland.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the other item we bought was a flying sword.
I want a flying sword.
Why not? Why? Because I could. Was it of any use to Barnibus? No.
Yeah, why would Barnibus use a flying sword?
Was it funny? Yes. Yes, it was. It was worth it. And it was a rapier, too.
Ooh.
It was a rapier, so... Yeah, my modifiers to strength and dex? 0.
Oh.
0 modifiers to those. Actually, wait, where are my modifiers?
You
I have
would
my
have
book
had to
here.
have had at least a positive dex for armor.
Oh, yep, I had +1 dex.
Well, I set the bar too low. That's on me.
By the time this campaign ended, we were level 9. My stats were 10 for strength, 12 for dexterity, 18 constitution because I almost kept dying.
That's fair.
10 intelligence. Not a smart man.
Not a dumb
20
one.
wisdom. 20 wisdom. 20 charisma.
Holy shit, he's stacked.
He's a little broken. These are not the stats you should have as a cleric.
Really? Kyra having a character that's broken? I would never
would have guessed.
Yeah.
Never would have guessed I have a broken
that.
character. I break characters. Especially clerics, they're very easy to break. Clerics are very easy to break.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, for his proficiency, he did not have medicine. It's a very bad cleric. Very bad character. +9 to deception, though. +9 to persuasion. We got sleight of hand even for some reason. Insight.
Huh.
Why? I don't know. It was funny. He was supposed to die.
But instead, he lived.
Not only did he live.
He lived like the little fucking bitch he is. And did he live?
Yeah.
So,
The little fucking
we
bitch
leave-
indeed.
Little fucking bitch he is. We leave the town, and that's when my DM tells me there were Kelpies there, and I got the pissed off could be. I could have fucked a Kelpie.
Wow.
That is the only time I made another hoggish joke, is me going, there were Kelpies here? Why didn't you tell me earlier I could have fucked a Kelpie? What else could have happened, man? Like,
A magic horse.
aquatic horse? Like, I am down for aquatic horse. I got normal horse, I've got aquatic horse, now I could have had aquatic horse, I could have just cut off all the magical horses. We could have just gone through a list.
Air horse. Fire horse.
Water horse. Earth horse.
Like that.
No, it's actually with an E at the end.
I thought Kelpie was an I. I-E. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Kelpie, mythical water horse.
Fake.
Really fucking bad.
How would you have fucked that?
It's a horse.
Don't.
It's a horse.
Yeah.
I would have,
no,
if
yeah.
Barnibus would have found a way.
I immediately
Barnibus would have found a way.
I immediately regret asking that question.
Yes, you should.
Barnibus. By the way, by this point in time, I have done many, many people and things.
And horses.
Supposedly a lot of horses, but I only, as I said, I made 2 horse jokes. That's it. 2. The rest I didn't have to do. They did it for me. Alright, so we've got all our stuff, we've got our supplies. We think we're ready for the Feywilds. We go to the Feywilds. I hit the cubic gate, cubic gate goes big. We put our little cart through the cubic gate. I pick up my cube again, because I get to keep it.
Yay.
And we get immediately adopted by a, I think he was a duke. I can't remember his name.
Oberon?
But he was like a little, no, Oberon.
Puck?
Oberon, I know Oberon.
Or do you mean Puck?
No, I don't think he had a name of significance. Like it was a random character.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to ask again, because I don't remember, as I said. He adopts us, we tell him we're trying to get to the court, so he takes us to the court of the Fae with Titiana.
Titania, yeah. At least it's the Seelie, not the Unseelie.
Well, the Unseelies and the
Gloaming.
The Unseelies in the Shadowfell.
No, they're just
in this campaign.
Oh, okay.
In this campaign,
okay.
The Unseelie Court is in Shadowfell.
That makes sense.
So, by the way, we do have 2 side missions. Because we may have gotten in bad with some mobsters. One side mission is for Barnibus and Kitty. We have to steal a flower, very specific flower, from Titania's garden. That is the most deadly flower in the world. Insta-death.
Oh no.
Insta-death flower. Only grows here in the garden. We have to get one of those. And the other quest was for Gwyneth and the monk. The ranger and the monk. Which was to steal the Fenrir swords from Oberon.
Oh no.
So we walk in, we introduce ourselves to Titania and Oberon, and then this one Titania's big giant lady with angel wings instead of fairy wings, because she's so old, she's older than some of the gods. They think she is a true angel. But nobody knows, nobody's that old. Oberon, on the other hand, is like 3 foot tall, squat, fat fairy fucker who's adorable, and I loved him. Also completely vulgar. Him and Barnibus are best friends.
I bet.
Yep.
Yeah, mm-hmm. So we talk. We're trying to think of where we could find this human that we're looking for that was kidnapped. Wandering around. We also all have like little roses that the Duke gave us so that we wouldn't get lost in the Feywilds. So we all have little rose brooches. I immediately go with Oberon as Barnibus. Barnibus and Oberon go on a little adventure. Oberon is taking an immediate liking to Barnibus. And we go into his weapons room and look at all the weapons. And he shows me the swords, what they do. And then I show him, because the swords you slash and it opens a rift and we can go through.
Neat.
And it teleports you through planes. I show him my cubic gate.
Oh no.
He takes it, hit Olympus, throws it, and just drags us through. And I'm just staring there going like, oh, fuck, we're in Olympus. Oh, fuck, I'm in Olympus. And Barnibus is terrified. This is the land of the gods, the Olympic gods. He should not be here. This is wrong.
Please
this
tell
is
me
incorrect.
you fucked Zeus.
No, Zeus came and tried to kill me because mortals aren't allowed on Olympus.
Fair.
And Oberon's in trouble with Zeus. And Titiana had to come get us. She came to Olympus, calmed Zeus down, and took us back to the Feywild court.
That's caught between two difficult places there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oberon's having a great time. We're making jokes. We're being hilariously vulgar. Lots of sex jokes. And Kitty has wandered off and found the garden of this horrible poisonous flower.
Oh no.
And they're having we take a break. Both of us are having a panic attack trying to figure out what to do. They're trying to figure out how to get the flower. I'm trying to figure out how to get the swords. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking, and then I stop. This is me now, not Barnibus. I stop and look at the player and go, wait, the person with the quest to get the swords was this and this. And they're like, yes. I was like, and they're dead. And they're like, yes. And I'm like, and they didn't know the rest of us. And she's like, oh, we don't have to do it. I'm like, we don't have to get the swords. We just have to get the flower. We don't have to get the swords. We were so happy because for me, the swords were behind a bunch of layers of like reinforced glass and plexi, and I wouldn't be able to get in there. There's no way in without trans-dimension to get through this wall to get to them. And I was just like, I don't even know how I'm gonna do this. Like, I got no spells that can help me. Got nothing. I have to convince Oberon to take them out and show me and let me hold them and somehow get away from Oberon. So I'm panicked over that. I'm no longer panicking. And I go to find Kitty. I go to try and find Kitty. I open up so many doors that lead to orgies. So many. Oberon is left now. He's being punished by Titania for being bad and going to Olympus where he's not supposed to go anymore. And, okay, so it was one door, open a door, orgy. One door, open a door, orgy. One door, open a door, orgy. One door, open a door,
murder.
A broom closet. I had opened so many doors. They gave me a broom closet because none of these doors led to where I wanted to go, because it was a joke with Barnibus. Whenever I tried to roll a directions check, it was the wrong direction.
Barnibus always knows where
every time. That's where the saying "Barnibus always knows where he's going" has come from. It has happened every time he's tried to roll for direction. It is the wrong fucking way. And there was even a point where I found a door that said "broom closet, absolutely no orgies" written on the door. I literally, at that point, I stopped and I was like, how there are so many doors in this place. And I'm fighting every urge in the world, as Barnibus knows he can't fuck the Fae. Barnibus knows he cannot give or take technically from the Fae. He studied the Fae when he studied Sylvan in the library. He knows.
Give or take.
Also, he's been around the block. He knows better.
Give or take, indeed.
Mm-hmm. So when he gave his name as Barnibus, he was actually fine, because that's not his fucking name. So he finally finds the garden. Kitty's having a panic attack. Full-on panic attack. Barnibus had a plan with the flower, though. So he walks over, he picks the flower, and takes Kitty, and we leave. Because we had found, in the process of running around, found the man. The other player had found the human. And gotten him to the cart. The human we had sent the whole time to go get.
Oh.
The main objective of the quest. They found him. He is in the cart. Waiting. Oh. I can't use the cubic gate right now, right away. Because it has a recharge time of 1 week.
Oh.
Because Oberon used it on me to get to Olympus.
Oh.
So, I have the flower tucked in between my sketchbook, which Barnabas still carries, because he is an artist technically, even though retired, and nobody knows it. The plan was he was going to draw a complete replica of the flower and use a spell to make it look real and give the crazy mobster that.
Yeah.
That was Barnabas's plan. You gave him the flower. Didn't happen. Got in the cart. We bolted. Made it to a Fae village. There was a dance-off. Barnibus doesn't dance, though. Barnibus doesn't dance. So everyone had a dance-off. Everyone was dancing except Barnibus.
In the dancing with the Fae?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
People were dancing with the Fae. Barnibus, A, knows better. B, Barnibus does not dance. At this point in time, the bard had also tried to take lead of the party, because somehow Barnibus had become the leader of the party.
I think that's just you.
We don't know. Yes. Yes, that is just a skill I have. I somehow become leader of party. Every time, every campaign I play. That's why I made such a low intelligence character last time.
Although, admittedly, it depends on the context. Sometimes you're just like, yeah, no, you guys are taking too long. I make decisions.
You're taking too long. If you're taking too long, we're doing this now. I can't handle that we're taking 100 hours.
Yeah, you've done that during our campaign as well.
She's held back.
Yeah.
I hate waiting. I hate waiting. I hate the waiting of arguing for 1 hour over the same thing and not doing anything. That is not how. No. So we get there because it's a little mini festival where we're dancing with the Fae, and they open a portal for us to get through. Turns out Titania and Oberon were like right behind us. I was away that session, so I had run off. The story had said I had run off with the flower, and Oberon caught me. He transformed into like a 9-foot-tall half ox man and kidnapped me to bring me back, and we all had to go back to the court and be punished. And our human, turns out, was actually being held by the Fae to keep him safe.
Oh.
Because the Unseelie Court wanted him. The people who paid us to get him back to the human world was the Unseelie Court. We just didn't know it.
Oh boy.
We all did some intense training. And in return, I think we leveled up. And we all got magical stones. Also, by the way, I was still flirting with Oberon. I almost fucked Oberon. And I'm not sorry.
Nor should you be.
I was honestly expecting to hear that you fucked Oberon.
I probably, if the campaign kept going, would have done it. I did walk in on Titania pouring like hot wax on him and made some horrible vulgar jokes at it, and Titania with Oberon, and Titania was doing the glare between me and Oberon, and I'm not sure if she was into it or not, and I'm kind of scared of it. Yeah, so we all get magic stones that were randomly rolled to figure out. They would give us a buff. They would give us resistance to a certain type of thing. I think one person got force damage resistance, one person got cold damage resistance. I got fire, and I pointed out I'm already resistant to fire. And the DM's like, yep, now you're immune.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Because that's what Barnibus needed.
Immunity to fire.
One of the more common damages.
Yeah.
Rue could use
You can cast Fireball on me. Completely fine. No damage. Completely immune.
Rue could use that.
Immune to fire. It was because all of the stones were randomly rolled. And he didn't really want to give me a reroll, so we got... Yeah, you're immune now. Yeah, fucking, you're already broken and overpowered. Let's make you more broken and overpowered.
Let's make this funnier.
I still almost die every time because I'm targeted. But I can't die. I'm Barnibus. So, do you have any questions? About then is when the campaign died.
Honestly,
we never
not
got
as
to...
bad as I thought.
No.
I skipped a lot.
It's still not as...
I tried to fit as much of that into the hour as I could.
That's still not as horrifying as I expected it to be.
Honestly, yeah.
Which
Once we got
I think
past,
says more about me than Barnibus.
Once we got past the horse fucking, I was surprised how
tame.
Well,
yeah, I have to think of copyright infringements, people.
I mean, yeah.
I'm more concerned now.
Copyright infringements and the fact that I don't want the channel taken down. So I did skip some vulgar bits. But I did keep a lot of them in there.
Wow.
Hot.
There was also a giant mechanical griffin statue that was supposedly a golem that I really wanted to steal at one point.
I was...
never found out where the rod was.
Knowing Barnibus, though, I was concerned where I really wanted to went.
Barnibus, he really wanted to, probably.
I didn't expect the steal.
Yeah, he probably would have fucked someone to steal it. Yeah.
Still not... I just expected him to want to fuck the golem. Let's be real here.
Well, I think, like, it had been... Barnibus has been built... He's been built up for so long.
As a sex god.
As a sex god, so I'm just... Every time I hear he didn't fuck something, I'm just like, oh. What do you mean?
Hey, why not?
Are you okay? Was he sick?
I'm surprised you didn't sleep with Zeus.
Well...
He was very scary.
Or Apollo.
In that moment, because he was threatening to kill me immediately. Barnibus doesn't do fighting. He does talking his way out of it.
Or Apollo, because Apollo's known for taking male and female lovers.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them ending in bad.
The amount of fight sequences we skipped because Barnibus talked his way out of it annoyed the DM a lot.
I bet.
It's fun to circumvent.
It's an aspect of Thorir in my campaign that I'm okay with. The fact that I don't have to worry about this big battle I have planned. I don't think anybody's gonna randomly decide to talk their way out of it. Although I am welcome for people to try.
I think we do try sometimes. It just
you've gotten out of a couple.
Well, I've also got you out of a fight by just setting everything on fire with lightning.
Yeah, that was amazing. I loved that.
How's McBride feeling?
McBride, how do you feel about Barnibus now?
Honestly, it's kind of like my opinion on the first time that I saw the original Blair Witch Project. There was a lot of hype behind it and a little disappointing, not gonna lie. I'm sorry, but it's been built up for so long. This is such like a character. It's just built up for so long, and then it's like listening to this, like I expected more. I'm a little disappointed. Like, I get it.
Was a time
so many
when
things
that
can't be said because the channel will be taken down. But like, hey, if you want to hear the whole thing, we might put up a Patreon and maybe you can hear it there.
That'd be cool.
Oh god, I'd have to remember this. To be fair, this campaign ended several years ago now.
I mean, and this is
very hard.
Also, not counting like all of the other times he showed up in other campaigns.
Yeah,
right?
the time he showed up in another campaign that we were in, like, and just in the span of like 5 minutes,
the 369
he showed up randomly, and we all fucked him.
And then there was my character who fucked him, and then had to roll on the SDD charts.
I fucked him and had to like roll on like if I was still straight. Back when I was still like, oh yeah, I'm straight. Sure, yeah, it's fine.
And then Barnibus.
Barnibus had become such a joke in Legend. When I went back to DMing, he became an NPC.
Oh yeah.
He's got the cubic gate. Of course, he's going to show up anywhere he wants.
He's got the cubic gate. He can kind of just go where he wants. I mean, he's got the cubic gate. He's.
Like, even, like, Snap was a lesbian at the time. It's like, well, Barnibus can be an exception.
Yeah.
Barnibus is an exception. As well as a lot of the jokes, just, like, it's a funny joke, haha, and it got escalated and added to.
I was honestly surprised the amount of the things that, like, have become, like, common knowledge in the Barnibus lore were, like, decisions that were, like, kind of, like, forced on you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, that's how Nomeo started out, too, right?
This is true.
Like, it eventually just became a thing that he slept with corpses.
But, like...
Yeah.
I don't know, like, as a DM, I feel like... Like, it's fun to joke about, you know, a character doing specific things, but I would never be like, okay, and then your character does this, and then move on from this. So it's no.
I feel like, though, like, Kyra would... Like, you would have said something, though, if you weren't
I feel like, if you weren't cool with that, you would have said something. But it's just also interesting. I'm like, wow, so much of that wasn't actually Kyra.
No, it was a bad joke that escalated.
Wow.
Just one.
Once you fuck a horse, it's all over for you.
Yep. Fuck one horse. Yeah, fuck one horse.
And that should be a motto.
Life is short, do something to a bagel.
You do something to a bagel, it's the end of your world. It became an ongoing thing. I also left out that I openly was flirting with the DM, the other players, as Barnibus. Like, that was an ongoing...
You flirt with real people as Barnibus.
You do.
Like...
I'm a flirt.
It's just Barnibus has become the persona for flirting. Like,
as long as my voice doesn't drop, then you're safe.
And there was a point when
there
was a specific pair of glasses you were not allowed to wear because it automatically just made you Barnibus.
Exactly.
No, it's when they fell down my nose, because then I would get the librarian glasses, and that's what I did to do like when I started flirting as Barnibus, I would pull them down my nose because that's how I would differentiate. Because we were playing the game in person, so I'd pull them down, I'd drop my voice. That was the Barnibus voice. That was Barnibus talking.
Although it's
not
funny,
Kyra talking.
Barnibus and Sonaire sound similar to me sometimes, and it gets a little alarming because I can't tell which fucker it is.
It does, especially because Sonaire is so different from Barnibus.
And it's kind of scary. Because I'm like, okay, is this the charming fucker that I should avoid for my safety, or the asshole who I should avoid for my safety?
Your safety. Which one should you avoid? And it's always for your safety.
Or the child killer. Eater.
Yeah. Both. Why not both? Should probably avoid both. So yes, folks, if you ever see hear tale of Barnibus, which supposedly I am on Tumblr, I don't know. Supposedly there's a story of me on Tumblr.
Is there?
Supposedly there's a story of me on Reddit.
Is there?
I haven't found them yet.
What?
I haven't found them yet. I've been told.
I've gotta find it.
I have been told. You, Chris, are the one who put me on Tumblr.
No, I was talking with you in a group chat on Discord a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Discord. That's what it was.
Yeah, I don't know who put you on Tumblr, but...
You're the source of that.
No, There's annoying thing because there's an actual gospel of Barnibus, but it's a real thing, and that's not what I want.
No. Yeah. Also, by the way, the joke is it's Barnibus. You know, you say it with like 20 A's.
Barnibus.
And that is spelled Barnabus. That is incorrect. The real spelling of Barnabas is Barni. Barnibus.
Barnibus.
Isn't like
Barnibus.
Weren't you gonna get like a tramp stamp of that just across your back or something?
My brother wants to buy me a tattoo for my birthday of the tramp stamp, but he showed me a design of fuck the horse, the 8-legged horse.
Slipnir.
Yeah, and they were gonna put Barnabas over top of it. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yep.
Apparently
So that's a thing that will eventually happen.
Apparently there are other tiefling clerics of Barnabas.
Yeah, there's another. Yeah, that's concerning, isn't it?
I mean, tieflings are the race that could fuck.
Yeah, tieflings are just
they're panty
objectively the hottest D&D race.
Oh, on a side note, there are special abilities you get as a cleric, like poison. All of your weapon attacks have poison. You can turn invisible.
Yep, there's also the shadow clone thing.
Yeah, and the shadow clone. Barnabas used none of those. Why? Because I forgot. So I could have turned him invisible.
I mean, that's like a level 6 thing.
Fucked anyone I wanted. But I forgot. There could have been multiple Barnabases running around.
Oh god.
I forgot.
There probably is.
Oh god, no, but imagine if he'd used his, like the shadow, or his clone, like, what is it actually called?
I think it is called shadow duplicity.
His duplicate.
Duplicates.
Yeah.
An orgy of Barnabas and one other person. But yeah,
Yep.
we should probably end it there.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's the story of Barnabas. Again, we had to keep it semi-clean because I feel like we might still get taken down. We hope you all enjoyed the Barnibus. And don't forget to lick those buttons. I'm sorry if you stayed to listen and you were disappointed like the rest. Again, the warning is you must be able to differentiate reality and unreality, people. This is not things I've actually done in my life. This is stuff Barnabas did
I would
in a
laugh
game.
and say that, like, I don't understand how people could take that, but I've been on Twitter long enough to know that people really do seem to not be able to differentiate this anymore.
There is also issues with dissociation, and there's an actual, like, derealization part of dissociation where, like, you literally cannot discern reality from fiction. It's part of an actual there's that, and that's why the warning is there.
Yeah.
For that. And then there's the idiots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where the warning is also there, but they're not going to acknowledge it. They're going to ignore it.
They're going to ignore it and then
so
complain
don't
anyway.
And in true Barnabas fashion, don't forget to lick the buttons, and we're going to just pick the most vulgar options. So one's a ween and one's a pussy. Have fun, guys. Bye.
I was waiting for that one.
Yum yum.